Revelation 21. Then I saw a new sky, heaven, and a new earth, for the former sky and the former earth had passed away, vanished, and there no longer existed any sea. I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God, all arrayed like a bride, beautified and adorned for her husband. Then I heard a mighty voice from the throne, and I perceived its distinct words saying, "See, the abode of God is with men, and he will live in camp tent among them, and they shall be his people, and God shall personally be with them and be their God. God will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be anguish, sorrow, and mourning, nor grief, nor pain any more. For the old conditions and the former order of things have passed away." And he who is seated on the throne said, "See, I make all things new." Also he said, "Record this, for these sayings are faithful, accurate, incorruptible, and trustworthy, and true, genuine." And he further said to me, "It is done. I am the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. To the thirsty, I, myself, will give water without price from the fountain, springs of the water of life. He who is victorious shall inherit all these things, and I will be God to him, and he will be my son. But as for the cowards and ignoble, and the contemptible, and cravenly lacking in courage, and the cowardly submissive, as for the unbelieving and faithless, and for the depraved and defiled with abominations, and as for murderers, and the lewd and adulterous, and practicers of magic arts, and the idolaters, those who give supreme devotion to anyone or anything other than God, and all liars, those who knowingly convey untruth by word or deed, all of these shall have their part in the lake that blazes with fire and brimstone. This is the second death. Then one of the seven angels who had the seven bowls filled with the seven final plagues, afflictions, calamities, came and spoke to me. He said, "Come with me, I will show you the bride, the Lamb's wife." Then in the Spirit he conveyed me away to a vast and lofty mountain, and exhibited to me the holy, hallowed, consecrated city of Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God, clothed in God's glory in all its splendor and radiance. The luster of it resembled a rare and most precious jewel, like jasper, shining clear as crystal. It had a massive and high wall with 12 large gates, and all the gates there were stationed 12 angels, and on the gates the names of the 12 tribes of the sons of Israel were written. On the east side, 3 gates; on the north side, 3 gates; on the south side, 3 gates; and on the west side, 3 gates. The wall of the city had 12 foundation stones, and on them the 12 names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. And he who spoke to me had a golden measuring rod to measure the city and its gates and its wall. The city lies in a square, its length being the same as its width. When he measured the city with its reed, 12,000 stadia, about 1,500 miles. Its length and the width and height are the same. He measured the wall also, 144 cubits, about 72 yards, by man's measure of cubit, from his elbow to the third finger, which is the measure of the angel. The wall was built of jasper, while the city itself was of pure gold, clear and transparent like glass. The foundation stones of the wall of the city were ornamented with all of the precious stones. The first foundation stone was jasper, the second sapphire, the third chalcedony, or white agate, the fourth emerald, the fifth onyx, the sixth sardis, seventh chrysolite, the eighth beryl, the ninth topaz, the 10th So phrase, I don't know. The 11th jacinth, the 12th amethyst. The 12 gates were 12 pearls, each separate gate being built of one solid pearl. And the main street, the Broadway of the city, was of gold, as pure and translucent as glass. I saw no temple in the city, for the Lord God omnipotent himself and the Lamb himself are the temple. And the city has no need of the sun or the moon to give light to it, for the splendor and radiance, glory of God, illuminate it, and the Lamb is its light. The nations shall walk by its light, and the rulers and leaders of the earth shall bring into their glory. And its gates shall never be closed by day, and there shall be no night there. And they shall bring the glory, the splendor, and majesty, and honor of the nations into it, but nothing that defiles or profanes or is unwashed shall enter into it, nor anyone who commits abominations, unclean, detestable morality, morally repugnant things, or practices faulted, but only those whose name are recorded in the Lamb's book of life.